For the next week I'll be eating nothing but Dave's hot chicken, for no other reason than it seemed like fun, and you lot love watching me put myself through bizarre eating challenges for weeks at a time. And you're in luck, because Dave's just so happens to have 7 levels of spice, meaning to make this more painful, every day I'll increase the spice level, going from no spice at all on day 1 to their Reaper level on day 7 where you have to sign a waiver before eating it. Other than that, the only rule is I can't eat anything that doesn't come out of Dave's kitchen for the entire week. I did weigh myself at the start because I was intrigued to see if fried chicken for a week would have any effect on my weight, so let's see what happens by the end of this. I suppose Dave's hot chicken is kind of a cross between KFC and Nando's. Only in the sense that it's fried chicken and it has different spice levels, but for those like me who haven't had Dave's before, Dave's offers Nashville-style hot chicken and now has 10 locations across the UK. Which is small compared to the USA's 300 locations, but one just opened in Bristol, so the timing couldn't be better. Opened by 3 childhood friends in 2017 with just $900, Dave and his mates first opened in a parking lot in East Hollywood with a couple of folding tables and a portable fryer, but the power of Instagram brought them into the spotlight of reporters and now they're blowing up worldwide. Although I don't know why the whole business got to be named after Dave when there were 3 of them. Man, I'm so ready for this week. Let's go. This one had opened in the heart of Cabot Circus, and they were really taking to the Bristol vibes by decorating with graffiti everywhere. And they of course have an emergency rubber chicken. It is lunchtime, but this place is so busy. It's cool. I'm excited. They have a very simple menu of tenders, sliders, bites and fries, and a couple of extra sides with shakes to boot. So basically, if they didn't have different spice levels, this would have given me major flavour fatigue pretty quickly. Or would it? Because after ordering my first meal that consisted of 1 slider, 1 tender, fries and a shake, I quickly learned that this chicken was, well, it's my first taste, so I had to do a mini review, right? Damn, that's good chicken. That's it. That's apparently all the review I filmed of the chicken. Moving on. The chips. Dems are crispy. We've got giant pickles as well. Man, there's just so much to this. And we even get some Dave's sauce. Kind of like a paprika mayo. Yeah, I like that. Got an M&M's milkshake. That's good. Vanilla one. When it gets hotter later in the week, that's going to be needed. They give you sachets of honey as well as wooden knives and forks so it doesn't get all over you, which I appreciated. Although this being me, I'm sure I'd get it all over me at some point. I can see why they give you the honey, honestly. This is just going to be a good meal. The chicken to bun ratio on the slider was a bit off considering they just shove a tender on there, but it still looked good.
Very nice, Shiza-chan!
You also get slices of bread with your sliders. This serves as a flavour-absorbing structural component that soaks up the spice and grease and supposedly helps mellow out the heat. Apparently it's a staple of traditional Nashville hot chicken culture. Someone from Nashville clarify that for me, please? I also have no idea if I'm eating this right. I liked the country rock filling the room and just kind of vibed whilst I finished my first meal. Even with no spice level, it was damn tasty and I could highly recommend this place to you all. That just got busier and busier. You can kind of see behind me how busy it is. Really good. Really, really good. I'm really excited to try more of the spice levels. I've got some time to kill now, because if the IKEA video is anything to go by, I tell you now, I'm not driving home and back 2 times a day. Yeah, so when I did IKEA, I drove to and from there twice a day, which honestly nearly broke me, and added so much unnecessary mileage to my car. So I took to Instagram to ask you a lot of different solo things I could do whilst in Bristol. It felt like I was going to be here a lot this week. However, the first thing I did was head into M&S for some light clothes browsing, because I'm at an age where M&S is now cool. I've often wondered if I should buy an entire outfit for a mannequin, but the only one that appealed was this guy. I tried the jacket on and it didn't really feel right. I also tempted myself to some more Lego, but having just treated myself the other month to the new Zelda set, I thought it best to just leave it alone. My main activity that afternoon though was trying out the new Odeon Luxe, which heading into it was the single poshest cinema I've ever been to. Dude, I've been to Odeon Luxes before, but this is the poshest one I've ever been in. Yeah, I just established that. They also already had the new Mario movie popcorn buckets out. They are literally huge. I would get one, because last time I saw the Mario movie, I got the question mark block. But I'm not a big Yoshi fan, and that's just too big. I'm off to see that film behind me. Project Hail Mary, which gives me a good 3 hours or so. This is just the fanciest thing. What's a Luxe Suite? What is a Luxe Suite? Man. But the cinema itself was awesome looking, and the recliner seats, whilst you can't really see them, were absolutely gorgeous. They also apparently have beds in this Luxe. Beds! I suppose that's probably the sweet. Anyway, I saw Project Hail Mary, which... honestly loved it. I cried so much over a rock. Great film. Incredible. Time to get some dinner. On my way, I did stop by Krispy Kreme to get Carolina a treat for when I got home, because I'm nice like that. But heading back into Dave's, I ordered and it was even busier than it was at lunch, and I had a good wait on my hands again. This time around I tried their bites, which also came with some bread and got the mac and cheese and a slush on the side. The bites were great, just cut up chicken breast, almost like a giant chicken nugget, but 10 times better, and the mac and cheese was also lovely. After that milkshake, this mac and cheese is gonna ruin me. I demolished the whole thing, other than the bread I will admit. Don't hate me for leaving food. I'd already had a lot of carbs for that day. Oh, also I saw and it turns out that they just used plain old white Hovis bread from Tesco. I also know it was Tesco because they literally had a delivery of Tesco flour at one point. I just hope Dave has a club card. You know what? Great first day. I'm actually well impressed with Dave's. I think it's great and I'm really excited to try the spice. I know you might think it didn't look like I ate too much today, but I tell you now that was well over my daily calorie intake. Well over. So, whatever you say, screw you. That'll do me. I'm sorry, that was rude of me. I didn't mean it. I love you all. Getting home, I had to give Riley a big cuddle as she was upset that I was out all day, and then told Carolina all about Dave's. It's really cool though. They give you like little sachets of honey that you can pour over the top, so it's like proper southern style.
Oh, wait a minute, that's what Colombia does. I'll take you.
And I tried the Tomodachi Life demo before turning in for the night.
Would you like to have a chat about dogs?
Now it's just time to work out what results I have to give you. So here goes. Every day I'll be giving the heat level a score from 1 to 10 as to how spicy it was. This being no spice was obviously a 0. And in terms of my spend on those 2 meals, I spent £31.35. I thought about doing calories, but it's really hard to work out from the website and the machines when there's such a big queue behind you. Let's just say I'm pretty positive I'm at least 50% over pretty much every single day. Do you see now why I'm just doing 2 meals? Day 2 arrived, and after an uneventful morning, I headed straight to Dave's with Carolina in tow. I'm very hungry. And it's time for some more chicken now. And Carolina's getting some with me. You excited for your first Dave's?
I'm intrigued.
She's getting a hotter spice level than me though, because right now I'm only allowed very mild today. Turns out it was actually called Lite Mild. I tried to order the load of fries, but it looked like I couldn't get it until I got to the medium spice level, so that would have to wait for day 4. What I didn't notice the day before was that it tells you how many people have ordered what spice level for that day, and I was kind of worried that 2 of those Reaper level would be me within a few days' time, because both meals have to be Reaper. Otherwise I don't eat. I can't say I was looking forward to it. Carolina's now worried. She's gone for medium. I'm not allowed to try it, but we're intrigued by how hot that is. Yet again, it was busy, but soon enough food was here and I had ordered myself 2 sliders with their kale slaw this time, alongside a strawberry shake, whereas Carolina had 2 medium tenders, and you can really tell the difference in colour between the heat rubs here. At least with this slaw, I can have a little bit of health this week.
Oh, that's nice.
They've only given me 2 pickles this time. I was getting 4 pickles last time. Strawberry milkshake was great, better than their vanilla. Pretty much tasted exactly like McDonald's. Strawberry is good. Trying the Lite Mild, this was tastier than the no spice, but it wasn't spicy at all still. And quick enough, I had demolished my 2 sliders and my slaw. Carolina said the medium spice was a bit of a grower, so I was quite excited to see what it was like when I got there later in the week. Me being me, I of course got some all over my shirt, and once we were done, it was time to head out to someone's suggestion of things to do, and we went for a spot of treetop golf. We did their Ancient Explorer course, and whilst the theming was a good idea, the courses did feel a bit flat, with a lot of them just being a normal mini golf hole with a brick stuck on top of it. The odd occasion we got something a little better, like this giant guy who talks.
You asked me a question.
But other than that, it felt a bit cheap at times. I also arrived at Monkey Mountain, that made me wonder if the guys at Nintendo had come here when planning a certain game. When we finish, you can do an extra hole to win prizes. Unfortunately, despite having a go with both mine and Carolina's balls, we won nothing. But here's the scorecard. It was close for a while, but I did pull ahead as the winner. Woo, yeah, come on. No? I'll just cheer for myself then. Woo! We then took a quick trip to Primark because we saw there were new Buffy pyjamas and we just had to get them for Carolina. Unfortunately, there were none in the men's though. And it turned out that there was a Tasty by Greggs here. I was hoping for some Greggs merch, but alas, there was none. They did have this cool sausage roll swing, although it didn't actually swing. I feel like, sadly there's no Greggs merchandise, but I feel like we need some kind of Primark Greggs Tasty by Greggs video. Leave your suggestions in the comments below. Arriving back at Dave's, this time there was a queue out the door.
Bit of a queue, but man needs his dinner.
And when it let me, I ordered for takeaway this time, and a little rant. I don't know why they do this, but they don't include a drink in the price of the meal. When you get to drink, you add it on and it's either an extra like $1.99 for a water up to like $4.99 for a milkshake or a slush. You have to scroll all the way down to no drink if you don't want a drink with it. Like, I feel like a drink should be included, like at least a soda or something from the soda machine, you know, like, I don't know. It's just a bit cheeky if you ask me. Nonetheless, I took it home, got changed to my new Primani joggers and took the dog out.
Come rain or shine, come hell or high water, I will walk this dog.
When it came to eating, I took my 2 sliders and fries and popped them into the air fryer, which actually worked a treat. Served it up on a proper plate, all fancy-like and tucked in. This time I did get a cheese sauce on the side as well, which I imagine is what they put on their loaded fries. So at this point, apart from those loaded fries, I was close to having had the entire menu. Save a couple of milkshakes that I would definitely have later in the week.
To be fair, I'm probably going to do this quite a lot in this week, just because finding stuff to do in town that takes me from lunch to dinner time is gonna take a while, and quite frankly, I am not driving there and back 2 times a day. I've learnt my lesson from IKEA. So, it heats up in the air fryer well.
Riley demanded my attention, telling me off as we settled down on the sofa that evening, and I can tell you that the spice level for the Lite Mild was only about a 1 out of 10, and I had spent a further £31.46. Day 3 came around and I discovered there was actually a Dave's Hot Chicken app, and if I made 6 purchases, I'd get some kind of reward. And I love a reward. I love anything that's free. Saying that, I'll probably have spent hundreds of pounds on chicken at that point, so I use the term free in the loosest of senses. It was a bit of a morning of chores and having various people around the house, so I didn't make it out until later than I would have liked.
Chores done, time to make the pilgrimage to Dave's again, which I'm hoping the mild has a little bit of extra flavour to it, because I'm not going to lie, the no spice on the Lite Mild were, I mean, they were tasty, but they could be tastier.
And by the time I arrived, there was already a queue out the door. Look, at this point, I think Dave's is great, but a queue out the door every time is absolute madness. I suppose it's because it's brand new to Bristol, so everyone in Bristol is like rushing to go and try it and just queuing up to try it and so on and so forth. I highly doubt every single one of them is coming back every day like I am. Wait, that means I'm actually contributing to the queue, so I'm just like them all. I'll stop complaining. With my first stamp acquired, my meal consisted of 2 tenders with the mac and cheese, some extra fries, and a Dr. Pepper. I don't know what happened this morning, but I woke up and I chose carbs. I also added the cheese to the chicken to see what would happen, and this is what happened. Annoyingly, my Dr. Pepper was off, the syrup went as I was pouring it, and when I told the worker after my meal, he just kind of took my drink off me when I was hoping I could pour it away and get another one. But because I hate confrontation, I said absolutely nothing and just accepted it. The chicken though, the chicken was now at the mild heat, and I can honestly say, as I add each level of spice, it's getting tastier. Although still not spicy. Like, not spicy at all. Let me tell you, this meal was a struggle. It's my own fault though. But I wanted to put the mac and cheese on the tender and bread to see how it was, and yeah, it slapped. But it was just so much food.
Okay, so I've got a lot to do today, so I'm taking dinner home with me again. A lovely lady just came up while I was in the queue and just said, "Hi, I love your videos," as she ran out. And you know, it's like I always say, guys, if you see me in the wild, if you see me in public, please do come and say hi. It really makes my day. Also, it also makes my day if you subscribe when you're not subscribed to the channel, so please subscribe.
It was also lovely and sunny today, so I went for a long walk with the dog, saw some birds of prey of some kind, no clue what ones, but it was cool to watch, although it made someone quite impatient. Okay, we'll keep going. Now, outside of these dog walks, you're probably wondering what I am doing to offset all of this fast food. Well, normally I'm quite a keen CrossFitter, but I managed to crush my finger just over a week ago. No idea about YouTube guidelines, so it's blurred here, though you've probably noticed in the video already. This means I can't grip things properly or do weights or even push-ups or anything, so it's literally been a case of jumping on the Peloton every day.
Sadly, for now, this is all I can do. And even then, after half an hour, it actually hurts my finger, which is weird.
I do this for like an hour whilst watching stuff, such as this anime about a rooster that fights demons. Anyway, dinner that night was a slider, a tender with no bread, and some kale slaw. No idea why I needed more carbs after my lunch, but at least I had the kale slaw, I suppose. I also made Carolina a really nice ravioli with a tomato sauce. At least we get to eat at the same time, I suppose. Riley and I then watched Ted the series, and I can tell you that the mild spice level, I kind of also want to give it a 1 because it's not even spicier than the Lite Mild, it's just tastier, but for argument's sake, I'm giving it a 2. And I spent £27.06 because that Dr. Pepper that got taken off me was free for downloading the app. Neat. Day 4 started with a 30-minute cycle, although at this point I have no idea if doing any exercise is doing anything to help. Like, it feels pretty redundant with the sheer amount of fast food I'm eating, but at least it gets me moving and doing something. Every time I go out, this one just gets really sad. It's okay. Oh, I can't look at her. Baby. Breaks my heart every time.
It's midweek, which means it's finally medium, so there's gonna be some kind of tasteable spice on the actual chicken, which I'm excited for. Carolina did say the medium was a little bit of a grower, so this should be fun.
This time when I went in, I seemed to get there early enough that there was actually no queue, although it did take them almost 15 minutes to prepare my order, which I'm not too mad about. It means it's fresh after all. I got 3 tenders, some slaw, and a blue raspberry slusher. After yesterday, I decided it would be a no carbs day.
Better than the red one.
I had eaten so many carbs the following day that I decided to say no to bread, buns, fries and pasta for the entire day. And yes, I'm aware that this is breaded fried chicken, so it is carbs, but I can't not eat the chicken. Anyway, how's the medium spice?
It's definitely a major increase in heat level. I can feel it tingling on my tongue a little bit. It's not like blow your head off or anything like that at all. It's just actually quite pleasant. I'm intrigued to see how the hot and then the very hot get on.
Finishing up, I went to their toilet, which is decorated with hundreds of rubber chickens that just watch and stare at you whilst you pee, which is fine by me because I love an audience.
What the fuck? Welcome to Sam Wilder's self-guided street art and graffiti tour of Bristol. I say that, I've literally just found a little map online that I'm going to follow.
My tour started me off at Wilder Street. Yes, really. Which also happened to have Wilder Court on it.
It's like this road was born for me.
The map I found didn't really show me what I was looking for outside of pins on a map, so I assumed this was the first piece I was looking at, and not the graffiti saying jabs next to it. Moving on, there was this cool piece, this one.
That one confused me a bit, because there's meant to be something here, but that's all there is. I'm assuming it's that. Can't work out what it says.
I found the pins quite confusing because more often than not the graffiti was around the corner from a pin or further down the road, but there was some beautiful art to be seen.
I think I've just found my favourite one so far. What a weird good boy. If it's even a dog.
One of the best pieces was obscured by a tree and I couldn't get a better angle on it.
This tour is weird because sometimes you get somewhere and there's literally nothing where it's meant to be marked. Although I did see this guy, so maybe it's him. There is, however, apparently something else right up this street. Let's see what we can find. No, yeah, hilariously, I did just look it up, and the one that was up this street is in fact that man.
Then I finally saw it, Banksy's well-hung lover. To be honest, I wasn't sure whether the blue and pink paint on it was purposeful or if someone had just vandalised it.
I think that's the first Banksy I've ever seen. Pretty cool actually.
And then I went for some more chicken, which also took quite a while to even get. Got a milkshake, and they actually gave me a spoon for all the bits this time, so that's good. However, NGL guys, I'm not gonna just sit there for, I've got nothing to do. I can walk around shops for hours, got nothing to do. So yes, 3 days in a row, I have got takeout, but tomorrow will be another day. I also learned that you have to have 4 hours between qualifying purchases to get a stamp on your app, which is actually really annoying. So I still only have 2. So hopefully by Reaper Day, we will have all 6 stamps to see what reward we get. It was worth coming home due to the excitement of this one when I do return. You smile. Wow. Who also gets super excited when I take her for a walk. Once home and when time for dinner, we decided to eat outside as the weather was so nice, where I had 2 more medium tenders and some more kale slaw. No carbs day, remember? I also thought I'd forego a plate so I didn't have to wash up. Caroline had a fish cake for her dinner, which I was kind of jealous of because fried chicken 4 days in a row, it does get kind of boring. As for the medium spice level, it's a jump up from mild, but I still don't think it's that spicy, for my palate anyway, so I'm going to give that a 4 out of 10 in the spiciness. And I also had spent a further £32.45, which means at this point I spent well over £100 on chicken. So apparently, I've lost weight, like 0.05 of a kilo, but I've lost weight. Someone explain how that works to me? It was finally the day to get the chicken Dave's named after. Spice level, hot. And you know, weirdly, despite being one of the first people in, it still took 18 minutes to come out. My meal was one slider and one tender with no bread, alongside some kale slaw and a Dr. Pepper that actually tasted like Dr. Pepper this time.
Been looking forward to this. Finally time to see how the hot is. And these end pieces here, always the most coated. That's more like it. That's gone from like a here to a here.
Yeah, so this feels like a significant step up. It's absolutely delicious and the most tasty one yet, but where the medium was just a light tingle, this one kept the top of your chest warm for quite a while afterwards, alongside having your tongue practically dancing. Still manageable though. Didn't need much to drink throughout, although I feel like a milkshake is definitely going to be necessary for the extra hot on the Reaper if this is anything to go by. Now, I don't want to be TMI, but
This food is giving me a mouth ulcer. All the spiciness. Ooh.
so I had to go grab some Corsadil to remedy it.
Honestly, this stuff is a lifesaver when you got one. I'm not going to show you.
And I ran straight to the public loos to rinse my mouth out. Classy.
Right, so I now have just over 3 hours to kill before I can get another stamp. So I'm going to go set up shop somewhere. Maybe do some work.
I was determined to get 6 stamps and a reward by the end of this. So for the next 2 days, I would have to leave 4 hours in between meals. So I went to Costa to work on, well, this video. And before you complain, this is an eating challenge, not a drinking challenge, and I hadn't had a coffee in almost 5 days, so allow me this. Also, here's a little teaser for the videos I've got coming up. It's been a busy couple of months. As I was working, I decided to research if American Dave's hot chicken is the same as over here, and that's when I discovered this video by Daniel Aminzadeh, who had done the exact same thing as I was doing, but across the pond. It's a really fun watch, and I'd highly recommend it if you want a good laugh and to see how someone else suffered through this. It was good to know I'm not alone. Thank God for Corsadil. My ulcer has gone, which is great. And it's only been like 4 hours, but it is time for a very early dinner. I'm getting something new this time. I got the regular loaded fries. Yep, these are apparently regular. And a lemon iced tea. This was 6 of their chicken bites smothered in Dave's sauce with pickles, slaw, and sat on top of their fries coated in the cheese sauce. This looks absolutely disgraceful, and I can't wait. Disgraceful it was. The chicken bites were as good as day one, just now they had more spice and flavour. But interestingly, they didn't hit my tongue as much as the slider and tender from earlier. My guess is that the sheer amount of cheese sauce, fries and pickles all cut through it, so you don't really get as much of the spice hitting you at once. I do think these are quite a good deal though, for the price and for the cheesy chips. They absolutely coat these, and the more you dig down, the cheesier it gets, so the fries go nice and soggy. Yes, I said nice and soggy. When there's so much food, it really helps. It's just a lot of chips. It took a while, but I got it down me, and I can confirm that I now had 4 stamps, so the waiting for 4 hours worked and I'd have to do it all again tomorrow. I'm off to go see a movie. Can you guess which one? That was really fun. I enjoyed it. It's nowhere near as good as the first one, but still like a solid maybe 7 out of 10 or so. If you like Mario and you like Nintendo, there's plenty of fun references in there. It did make me smile. Glenn Powell stole the show. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And with that, I would say the heat level of the hot was only about a 6 out of 10, and I had spent a total of £29 and 5 pence on day 5. Look, day 6, and I am so bored actually at this point. And also, me and the toilet didn't really have a very good relationship last night. So I'm going to take it slightly easier with this extra hot today. What is happening to my voice? By easy, I meant just a single tender, with no sides other than a strawberry Lucky Charms milkshake. I didn't realise that a single tender doesn't come with sauce or pickles, so I guess I was raw dogging it. Wait, did I use that right? For most people, this is the spiciest it gets at Dave's. Most would only get the Reaper for fun or as a challenge, as I saw multiple people doing this week. So for now, calling this the top level for regular folks, just how hot was it going to be? It's alright. Yeah, this really wasn't much spicier than the hot. I'd definitely say it was the tastiest so far, but it really wasn't much hotter as the spice level. I'm actually hoping that tomorrow's Reaper should actually be manageable. Just keep watching. The Lucky Charms milkshake though looked fantastic and actually tasted fantastic too. When you get towards the bottom, there's just something about having Lucky Charms and marshmallows in what is essentially a thick strawberry milk. I enjoyed this very much. Possibly too much. I think I still love Lucky Charms because of the nostalgia in me from living in the States as a kid. It's the same reason why I still love Pop-Tarts and I keep a jar of Tootsie Rolls in my house at all times. I was determined to get my final stamp, so I did a little bit of work. And then
I've still got another 2.5 hours to kill, so I'm gonna go cinema, see what's on. I'm seeing Hoppers.
about 2 hours later,
Cute film. I have just got Letterboxd and everything I've seen this week is on there, so if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, my tag is on screen right now. You can see my very questionable film taste.
dinner time that day was an extra hot slider this time, with some kale slaw and a Coke Zero. Again, this one was just tasty. Definitely better having all the condiments on the side alongside the pickles, but still, extra hot was just tasty. It didn't really do it for me in the spice department.
So you know what, honestly, extra hot. Not all that much hotter than the hot. That not hot at all. It's probably like the kind of spice level that I would get in general, but it's not making me like, or anything like that. But it's perfectly fine. Also, I've got my 6 stamps now, and I get an entire free meal from it, which is awesome. So my Reaper meal tomorrow is going to be free.
And I decided that the final day, whether I get 2 meals or not, would all depend on how I found the Reaper during my first meal. And so day 6, I'm giving the extra hot a 6.5 out of 10, not as spicy as I would have hoped, and I spent a further £22.55. Look, it was finally now day 7, the final day with the Reaper level, and I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Sofa Sam, am going to shut up for a little bit, and I'm just gonna let it play out. And I do apologise in advance for any light swears you may hear.
Look, the more I think about it, the more I'm disappointed by how hot the extra hot from Dave's Hot Chicken was. I'm really hoping the Reaper is better. I've been watching some videos this morning of people trying it, and they're like, oh my god, this is the hottest thing ever, blah 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 blah. Like, if the extra hot was only a 6.5, how much of a step up is the Reaper gonna be? Is it gonna annihilate me? Like, I don't know. I've just taken to TikTok as well to see other people trying the Reaper. I feel like I should be scared. And the thing is, I'm getting a full meal. I'm getting a slider and a tender at the same time. I'll get a milkshake on the side, but is it going to be that hot? Bear in mind, man had the Pepper X a couple of months ago, and while a couple of things were horrific, a lot of it was all right. So, I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's going to be fine. Part of me thinks it's going to be fine. Famous last words?
I arrived, signed my waiver, and it was go time. My Reaper meal with 1 slider, 1 tender, kale slaw, and a Lucky Charms shake.
Just to be safe, I've brought gloves. I'm so intrigued, I just told the staff I didn't find the extra hot that hot. And I asked how much of a step up this is, and she said, it's a little bit of a step up, but because I have the shake, I'll be fine. I'm going to do like I did in Pepper X, and we're going to eat this, or at least a bite of it first. I will see how I get on. I'll try and last at least 2 minutes or so without having any shake. If I don't eat this, I ain't eating today. Let's try. It's definitely a step up. Ooh. Oh shit. Oh shit indeed. I think two things was maybe the wrong thing to do. I can definitely last the 2 minutes. And I'm going to. But then I also need to keep eating. So, screw it, I'm not going to last the 2 minutes. I'm just going to keep balancing it with a milkshake, and we're going to get through this meal. I feel like I've done a good job of it. I've got maybe 2 bites of the chicken left, but nah, man. The jump from extra hot to this is crazy. I'm gonna have to get another milkshake. Oh my god, I'm dead. That has not done pleasant things to my inside as the first thing I've eaten this morning. Well, that was certainly interesting. My mouth is still very tingly, especially around the lips, and while I was sat there having that milkshake, which was all of 5 minutes ago, by the way, my insides were just like, my stomach just started dying, like as in the heat was just coating it. That was like, the extra hot was tasty. That was hot for hot's sake. Yeah, I'm not eating there again today. I'm not eating again at all.
Hi, I'm back. Yeah, so that was awful. That was probably the most intense, horrific stomach pain I have ever felt. I definitely downplayed it there in that clip. It was awful. I had to go and buy some milk just to kind of alleviate it a little bit, walk around for a little bit, and then I sat bolt upright in the car the entire journey home because it was the only way that would sort of subside it. Like, the taste in my mouth went really quickly, like the spice wasn't there for too long. My insides were dying. Simple as that. So day 7's Reaper level, yep, that's a 9.5 out of 10. Close to a 10, but Pepper X was definitely hotter. And with my free meal, I only spent $4.99 on my shake, so my grand total spend all in all was £180.71. Oh, and somehow, I lost weight. Only 200 grams, but still.
I don't need Safe Sam to tell you anything, just this was painful. Fun week until right now. Yep, my tummy's hurting again, okay? I need to get home. So I'll see you next time where I'm going to eat more food.